Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the TI for a lot of these programs. TI is a great option, and many of you are using it really well. But the one weakness of the TI is definitely data entry. It is tedious, it is a pain in the butt, and especially with your project data, which you have 50 data points, it's a lot of data entry. Now, obviously, once you get it in there, it's there, you can save it, you can reuse it, but it's still a lot of data entry. And it's really easy to make mistakes. It's hard to see and check. And like, for instance, when you're doing my math lab homework and you've got a new data set each time, you can download them to Excel. You can't download them to your TI. There are actually ways, but they involve chords and complicated things that I'm not going to get into. I don't do it. So I want to show you kind of a shortcut that means you can still use your TI, but you can use Excel to kind of shortcut it and avoid data entry. Okay, and this will work for your project. It'll work for most of the homework problems. So this is the project data example I use because obviously a lot of stuff. So I don't want to put in, all this, but say I want to run like a confidence interval for the 1980 data. Okay, so now when I come here to any of these, okay, and I come here and say I want to do, a T interval here, a confidence interval, I have the data option, but I also have the stats option. Now, in part 3 of the project, you had to find all of this information. It would be really easy on any of the things to find the mean. Now, obviously, I have done this with, you can see right here, I have the mean. This is the data analysis, but you don't need that. So if I want the mean for 1980, which is, let's see here, 4 through 34, I can come up here to formulas, more functions, statistical, and I can come down here, right here to average, and I can do B4 through B34. Let's see here. How did I get it? I know that's wrong. So what did this is what I get for looking at what's going on here? Okay, B. I am in column B. Okay, did I put in B? Oh, B2, maybe B4. And I even said B4 because that 1980 is what's throwing it off. It's like a huge outlier. It's 1,980 degrees. No, it's not. Okay, so you can see that matches right there. That's the same one as here. And you would also then do the standard deviation. So the only thing you'd have to do in Excel, and this doesn't require data analysis for those of you who don't have it, is you would just run the standard deviation and the mean for whatever data set you're doing. You can see right there, it's the same ones I have here. Then you'd come, when you go to the TI, you'd simply put in those values, and you can keep as many decimal places as you want. What I would recommend is keep at least one more than the answer requires. I usually like to keep a couple more. Okay, let's see here. 43.2, let's see, 45. 45.74194, and then standard deviation here, 6.055123. And again, do you need this many? No, probably not. Pick how many you want. Then N, in this case, I have N31. I want a 95% confidence interval. There's my confidence interval, 43.5 to 47.96. And again, depending on what the requirements are. You can do this for the two mean t-tests. Say I wanted to come and do that. I would come here, I'd go to stat, I'd go over, I want a 2 sample t-test. Say I was doing one of those. And again, I would simply in stats put in, for instance, I want to complete 1980 and 2002. I would just need those. So the workaround for the TI is that you are going to do the mean standard deviation, which is usually all you ever need in Excel. So I'm going to download, whatever data set it is. So when I'm in my math lab, no, I don't have my math lab open, do I? Let's open my math lab. Actually, probably not. I'm not going to bother here. But anyways, open it, download it to Excel, and then run just those whatever you need. And in general, I mean, the proportions you're just counting, right? I can do all that right there in Excel where it's nice and easy to do. Then I'm going to put it in. So this is kind of your workaround for I can still use the TI, but I don't have to put in the tedious data entry. I've talked about this in some of the problems. When I do some of the examples, I'll talk about that if I have to do the TI. I don't want to do the data entry either. So this is your way, is download the data, run just the mean standard deviation, which we've known how to do since chapter 3, and then put that, even if you're doing a 2 mean t-test, no big deal. You're just going to do it twice, find that mean standard deviation, put those all into your TI and have it run stats. In other words, just create those basic summary stats rather than put in the data. Now, you can certainly put in the data, and if the data set's small enough, might be worth doing. But in general, a lot of these, 10, 15 numbers, you don't want to sit there and put all that in. You don't need to. Just have Excel do the basic work, and you don't need data analysis. You don't need the tool pack for just the mean standard deviation. So for those of you who have switched because you don't have that on yours, this is also your option. So hopefully this gives you an idea of kind of how to work that to your benefit.